locals, Kashmiri Hindus and the community seem to have a target on their backs. Pakistan-backed terrorists are hunting them down and murdering them in cold blood. The killings have sent alarm bells ringing, not just among the people living there, but also in the corridors of power of this country. Many Hindu families are looking to leave the valley, triggering a fear of another exodus. And that prompted the Union Home Minister, the LG of Jammu and Kashmir and the National Security Advisor to sit and hold a meeting to evolve a strategy to thwart these terrorists from striking at will. Sources have told Times Now that a comprehensive plan is now in place. Increase in security and intel on the ground in the valley, and an assurance to every single person there on the ground that their lives are valued, with the government trying to do everything in its power to keep them safe. But even as the meeting was going on here in the national capital, the community in Kashmir kept up the protest. Listen in to the palpable fear and panic there.
हमारी डिमांड यही है कि हमें अपने एरिया में एडजस्ट किया जाए, और जब तक वहाँ हालात साजगार नहीं होते, जब तक हमारा कोई आर्डर नहीं निकलता है, हमें यहाँ ही कहीं पे एडजस्टमेंट करके हमें काम लिया जाए, जिससे कि हम अपनी जॉब को कंटिन्यू रख सकें।
हम वापस नहीं जाएंगे। हमने डिमांड रखी है कि हमें अपने होम डिस्ट्रिक्ट दिया जाए। हम 10 डिस्ट्रिक्टों से, जम्मू के डिवीज़न के 10 डिस्ट्रिक्टों से, अलग अलग डिस्ट्रिक्टों से बिलोंग करते हैं, और हमारा एम्प्लॉई ईजी से गवर्नमेंट इन डिस्ट्रिक्टों में, होम डिस्ट्रिक्टों में ये एडजस्ट भी कर सकता है।
सर, मुझे नहीं लगता कि कश्मीर में कोई भी ऐसी जगह रही है अब जिसको हम सेफ घोषित करेंगे। एक तहसील ऑफिस में जाकर एक भट्ट साहब को गोली मार दी जाती है, बैंक मैनेजर को कल ही आपने देखा होगा किस तरह से आकर शूट कर दिया गया। कौन सी प्लेस सेफ है सर? हम अभी भी रेंटेड अकोमोडेशन में रह रहे हैं, हमें यहाँ सिक्योरिटी नहीं चाहिए सर, हमें अपने होम डिस्ट्रिक्ट में वापस भेज दिया जाए सर।
And joining me on the debate, of course, Gaurav Bhatia continues to be with us. Majid Haidri, political analyst. Zeeshan Rana, spokesperson of the National Conference. Dr Santanu Sen, member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress. But my first question goes to Sushil Pandit, activist. Sushil Pandit, the palpable fear is evident and understandable. What do you think is the solution? Mr. Pandit? Seem to have lost his audio there. Zeeshan Rana, why don't you take that question?
Absolutely distressing to see how innocent people are being targeted and killed. In the last 3 months, more than 18 people have lost their lives, and no accountability has been fixed so far by the government. And this shows that how this dispensation has failed us. Though I would say that Modi government has a long list of failures and failed and broken promises. But for me, unable to bring back normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir post August 2019 tops the list. I think Kashmir has become a laboratory and a testing ground for everybody. This is the right time that the government of India should re-look at its policy on Kashmir, because what I feel is that Modi's policy on Kashmir is a total failure. And
all right, Dr. Santanu Sen. Dr. Santanu Sen, isn't it a little hypocritical for Mr. Zeeshan Rana to question accountability when for 32 years the powers that be in the 1990s and the late 80s had no accountability for the genocide of 1990. You know, they're demanding accountability today. Are they carrying clear conscience while the issue in Jammu and Kashmir is something that Gaurav Bhatia and his party will have to respond to? But Zeeshan Khan raising these questions, hypocritical? Dr. Santanu Sen?
Navika, while talking on this Kashmir issue, I must remind all the viewers through you that the exorbitant price hike is the issue of the country nowadays, number one. Number two, the main problem is communal disharmony is a major trump card for BJP to grab the power. Let me cite you an example. There was a question placed on Rajya Sabha dated 11 May 2022, and in reply to that question it has been mentioned officially that since abrogation of this 370 in 2090, 14 Kashmiri Pandits were killed. And let me cite you another example. It is a report of 1st May 2022. It was reported in a very leading newspaper that in this year, 62 militants killed and 15 of them happened to be foreign militants. While abrogating this 370, it was assured that these atrocities and this terrorist activities will be downsized. But what we find? We find that it has increased like anything. 5th August 2019 to 26 January 2022, 541 terror incidents, 439 terrorists were killed, 98 civilians died, and 109 security forces died. This is what has happened since abrogation
tell
of
the story,
370.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, and the country is today asking questions. What happened to the promise of security for Kashmiri Pandits? We were talking about their return. The very few ones who are there, even they are not safe. Gaurav Bhatia.
Navika, this is the hypocrisy and the communal politics that is done by TMC, Congress, NC sitting here. And I first wish to come to the point which is far bigger than the cheap and petty politics that they do. What are the priorities of the government? And I'll then give the statistics also. But today, I know that every citizen of the country, and especially the Kashmiris, they respect, they revere the Prime Minister, Home Minister. They are wanting, please ask him to be quiet, it disturbs everyone. But these people don't understand, Navika.
Go on, make your point.
They can't even discuss an issue of sensitivity. Can I complete my point? I only have 3 things to say. 1, Shri Narendra Modi ji, Shri Amit Shah ji will leave no stone unturned to ensure that every Kashmiri, especially the Hindus who are in minority there, the Sikhs, are protected at any cost, at any cost. Second, 94 terrorists have been gunned down this year itself, and we have to ensure that every one of them is gunned down and is given a punishment that it sets a precedence for others too. Third and most importantly, every member of the Bharatiya Janata Party and citizen stands with them. If we have to teach a lesson to Pakistan, which is spreading terrorism, that will also be done. And in this hour, when the nation is facing this serious issue,
is that something that gives you confidence, given the fact that Rahul Bhatt, Vijay, I'm coming because you'll have to answer some questions from Sushil Pandit also, I'm sure. So I'll come back to you.
I will, but I wanted to complete my point, but you go ahead. Yes.
Okay, Sushil Pandit. You know, the words of intent, very well taken from Gaurav Bhatia. But does that give any confidence to those who are on the ground and who are being targeted and killed? From Rahul Bhatt to Amreen Bhatt to Vijay Kumar to so many others.
Navika, the tragedy is that there is a huge gap between promise and delivery. We all thought that 370 was the first decisive step, and now a series of steps would follow to retrieve Kashmir from jihad's jaws. Unfortunately, this government seems to have treated abrogation of 370 as the only step, the last step. And in fact, even if that were the case, we would have perhaps, borne it with patience. They have gone a couple of steps back after that. They have restored some of the provisions of 370 through backdoor when they proclaimed what they call a domicile notification on the Gazette from the Home Ministry, very surreptitiously, which recreated those hurdles in the pursuit of bringing Jammu Kashmir closer to India and making it accessible to rest of India. A huge obstacle of 15 years has been created for rest of the India because they can't do those 15 years of domicile in order to go and live there. There are no jobs for them, no land for them. This is a problem. Likewise, when they ban JKLF or Jamaat-e-Islami, they just proclaim a ban and then do no follow-up. Their institutions still run. Their cadres are still running around. Their effectiveness on ground is not curbed. There is no crackdown on their infrastructure and network. Even Ahle Hadith has not been banned. Jamiyat-e-Tulba, which is the youth of Jamaat-e-Islami, has not been banned.
These questions are pertinent. Assurances
Hurriyat still is not banned, Navika. Can you imagine?
Assurances are very well, but the fact of the matter is those who are on the ground and have a target on their backs, assurances don't protect them. What's the solution?
Are you asking
Navika,
me?
what Sushil ji said, I share his concern, but let me respond by, a very strong reply. I just want to tell him that Article 370 is definitely a historic milestone decision, but it is not the destination that we are looking for. And Sushil ji, when you say this government has abrogated Article 370, but it is superfluous, let me tell you, it is this government that has ensured that Yasin Malik is behind bars facing life imprisonment, Bitta Karate behind bars. It is this government that has ensured that after 1952, for the first time, tricolor was unfurled at the Secretariat. It is this government that
then
has
why are
ensured
Rahul
that
Bhatts
6,000
dying?
Kashmiri Pandits
That is the
returned to
question
Kashmir.
that continues to haunt us all.
And
Why are Rahul
that-
Bhatts dying?
that I
Why are
answered
Vijay Kumars
in
dying?
the first segment, because that remains
I'm completely out of time. I'm completely out of time because Gaurav Bhatia, yes, the question is about looking at the glass half empty or half full. But the fact is, human life is what is at stake.